Mr. President Shostat, welcome to Azerbaijan. I'm really pleased to have the opportunity to conduct an interview with you as part of the nordictalks project. I would like to begin the interview with the Norway's Climate Action Plan for 2021-2030. Could you provide an overview of Norway's Climate Action Plan and its key strategies?
Well, thank you very much for inviting me to this interview. I could say that Norway has fairly high ambitions in the climate field. We have the objective of reducing emissions by 55% by 2030 and climate neutrality by 2050. Basically, we have three components, three dimensions, key instruments. One is carbon pricing. We will apply that in all sectors, and we will increase the carbon price to around $200 by 2030. Important tool. The second is our participation in the emission trading scheme in the EU, which is important to give businesses incentive to cut climate emissions. And the third is to have strict green conditions in public procurement when public authorities buy commodities and services.
Being one of the biggest suppliers of oil and natural gas worldwide, Norway is actively engaged in transitioning away from fossil fuels in its energy systems as agreed upon at COP28. What approaches and efforts is Norway undertaking to contribute to this objective, also to advance the deployment of renewable energy and low-carbon solutions?
The situation today is very difficult for the world. As we speak, 82% of the energy used in the world is fossil fuels, only 18% renewable and nuclear power. And we need to reduce the fossil fuels in energy mix. Basically, Norway does two things to try to contribute. Firstly, we work to develop substitution, other types of energy that will substitute fossil fuels like renewables, wind, solar, hydropower. And the second is that we need, in addition to renewables, we need to provide for low carbon solutions, which means we take away the CO2 in natural gas and thereby reducing emissions significantly through carbon capture and storage, and also through the production of so-called blue hydrogen.
Mr. Shostat, in light of the challenges and uncertainties facing the energy sector, how does Norway envision the role of renewables in its energy mix in the coming decades?
Our starting point is that 100% of the power sector in Norway is renewable. So we have a very good starting point in my country. But if you look at the energy in total in Norway, still 50% is fossil fuels. So basically, there are three sectors which are very important to make changes. One is the transport sector. There we go all in on electric vehicles. We have been pioneering that for many years. 90% of new vehicles in Norway are electric. We are also pioneering electric solutions in the shipping sector, especially for ferries. We have more than 100 ferries which are run on electric fuels. And thirdly, we are also developing green aviation. So transport is first. Second is heating. And there we're a very favorable situation, but we need to make some serious efforts in energy efficiency. And thirdly is industry. And we need to make more electrification of the industry, especially in the energy-intensive industries. So Norway has still some ways to go, but we have a good starting point. Now, 50% in total are fossil fuels. We hope to reduce that number in the coming years.
Norway is known for its collaboration with other countries to exchange best practices in the field of green transition. What major international renewable energy projects is Norway involved in, and what are the key lessons learned from these collaborations?
The world needs frontrunners in order to make progress in the climate work. Norway is a medium-sized country, but we can make some contributions. And we cooperate especially with our neighbors in the Nordic region in Europe, especially maybe also in the North Sea region. In addition to that, we have an active engagement in international processes like the COP processes on climate and nature. And finally, we also have integrated the climate and energy transition aspects in our development policies in foreign aid. So I think the most important contribution we can make from Norway is that we, in areas where we have competence, where we have high priorities, good experience, like for carbon capture and storage, offshore wind and hydropower, we can share our experience and our skills with other countries and try through that to make the climate action in the world go forward. So we're trying to make sound contributions, but it's a good thing to underline in this context that cooperation is the main vehicle to succeed, because climate situation is a world problem and we need all to make efforts in order to fix it.
Thank you very much for your insightful responses.
Thank you very much as well.